Okay. Now y'all just heard from the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, on how to accumulate wealth. They were talking about, you got to translate it in your mind. They were talking about, money, copper, gold, related to today's currency. They may have said Babylon, but you could say Maryland, Washington, D.C., because it still fits. See, success has never changed over the history of time on how to be successful. It's never changed. One of the most powerful things that he kept telling you was what? How much?
At least 10%.
Why do you do that?
Pay everybody else. Pay yourself.
At this time, it'll accumulate to a lot.
Now, when he says pay yourself first, what else is he also emphasizing? It's not to be spent. That's your accumulation. Today, to accumulate more tomorrow, to accumulate more, to accumulate more. So when you get, let's say hypothetically, well, let's say in case you want to, it's not for you to go on vacation with. It's not for you to go out and finally buy that car you wanted, or you go buy that clothes that you wanted. That's not what it's for. It's for you to accumulate and invest for more accumulation. Little money makes big money. What do you say, 10%? 10%, 10%, and in 10 years you save the whole year's salary. But you can always save more than your 10%, but nothing less. The problem that we have as a people, is we want the latest fashion. We want the newest iPhone, the newest iPad, the newest TV, the latest car. Why are we consumers? Because when you do that, all you are doing is making the people you buy from rich while you're struggling to buy that item. And while they're laying back on their yacht. And you know they own their yacht. They drive around their Ferrari, their Bentleys, their Rolls Royces. Who's paying for it? But how much do you have to work to pay for that $300 phone? That $500 iPad? That $35,000 car? Think about it. One thing I always tell, and I carry with me, and I wish I had my PowerPoint, I'd show you, where this gentleman come busting in the door, says, honey, we no longer have to keep up with the Joneses. They've moved. Well, as of right now, your Joneses have moved. Having that latest car, that latest thing, gadget, that's why every house there's a new phone come out. Every house. Every 6 months, there's a new phone. Why? Because there are people out there who must have the latest gadget, standing in line 100 deep
Yes,
to get the latest gadget. When they just stood in line 6 months ago to get this one. And now they're in line again. What's wrong with that one? See, they're betting and they're counting on you being a consumer and not saving that 10% and doing what you have. I'm not saying be out there and when somebody tells you, say, hey, I want you to stay in touch with me, and you tell them, okay, beat me. You know you're out of touch. You got to stay out. Once you buy one, that's it. Now, there are several phones come out since I bought this one. But this works okay for me. My car is a 2003. It's point A to point B. Who am I trying to impress? Who do I have to impress? Me. If I got to impress you to be your friend, then I'm sorry, I ain't going to be your friend. If you can accept me for what I am, because I don't have the latest and the greatest, you know who I need. I want the person who will grow me, build me, and keep me focused. You got to see who your friends are. Because a lot of times what people don't realize, when you're buying the latest and the greatest, or you're buying a name brand, doesn't mean quality, it just means you're buying a name brand. There's a story that I tell. And when you're in business, you learn to deal with the public. At a clothing store, I had jeans I had in there on sale for $24.95. It's a true story, maybe. I'm not ashamed of it. I had to do what I had to do to make money. $24.95. They sit on the shelf, and they sit on the shelf, and they sit on the shelf. I think the price is right. It's a great jean. So all of a sudden, ba-ding, a light went off in my head. I said, okay, I know what to do. Called my seamstress. I said, I want you to put my tags on my jeans. Put my little, that little cowhide tag you see on the jeans, and put a little tag right here on my jeans. What'd that make them? All of a sudden they were name brand. $59.95. Same jeans. I couldn't keep them. It's the mentality of the public that it was not name brand, I don't want it. All I did was took their tag, I put my tag on the exact same thing. All of a sudden everybody wanted to buy my label. Same jean. So that's what you're doing when you buy a name brand. You don't realize, because I had my own clothing label. I go to New York, buy these sweat outfits, $25. Put my little tag on, put a little thing on it. All of a sudden they were $89.95, $129. But what were they buying? They were buying the name. Quality was still the same. And that's what you're doing when you're buying name brand. I was in the industry for 22 years. I have a Cadillac. My wife has a Chevy. Guess which car rides the best? There is no difference in the ride. There's no difference in the ride. Mine says Cadillac, hers says Chevrolet. Which one costs the most? Why?
This is the name.
The name brand. Point A, both of them, if we left here going 60 miles an hour, going to Richmond, who would get there first? As long as the air conditioner work and my CD player work, I ain't got no problem. Learn to be wise with your money. Now we're going to talk about, now always take notes, because I'm going to give you something you need to go back and look on and listen to. Now y'all heard the story, and I've listened to that so many times, and I was telling Arlene earlier that it's amazing how, when I was your age, and I don't know how old you are, so I was telling you young, you look young. I was reading these books that they're talking about today, that they're teaching out of, not realizing that then was going to get me ready for what I am right today. 20 and 30 years later, I'm teaching from those books I read 20 and 30 years ago. I'm still reading the books they're writing today and making the technology mine. I tell you all about BDI. Tell them what it means. Do you remember what it means?
You borrow.
Borrow.
You
duplicate.
And then you
improve upon it to fit your situation. I'm going to give you for instance. How many of y'all remember the Snuggie? All of a sudden, everybody and his mama wanted what?
A Snuggie.
A Snuggie. What was the Snuggie? No, it was just a robe you put on backwards.
Yeah.
That's all it was. That is all it was. If you look at it, you think I can put it on, but no, they said put it on backwards, now it's a Snuggie. Bam! What did they do? They borrowed it, they duplicated it, and they improved up on it to fit the situation. What do you call jeans now that are flare bottoms? What do they call them now? I don't even know. They used to be, back in the day, bell bottoms. Back in the 70s, they called them bell bottoms. Then they called them flare bottoms. Then they called them boot cut. Same thing. All they did was what?
Borrow, duplicate, and improve.
That's all they did. Look at how many different phone companies are out there. How many of them do something different than the other ones? All of them do the same thing. Hello? Oh, let me keep what's going on. What, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to pay $300 for a phone, $500 for the same phone, that does the same thing, just got a different name on it. Now, I'm going to tell you one of the biggest BDIs. BDI, one of the biggest BDIs that I've heard. Raw, duplicated, moved up on. Was the gentleman who did Apple. What was his name? Steve Jobs. What did Steve Jobs do? He says, wait a minute. Everybody's walking around with that boombox on their shoulder. Listen to music. And everybody got to go put that little 10, 20 cents into a phone. Hello, what happened? He said, wait a minute. They like music? They like the telephone? Why don't I figure out a way to put it together and shrink it? He was the first. He became a multi-billionaire almost overnight. Because you remember, they used to be huge. Look at them now. And this is a big one. What did he do? He borrowed it, he duplicated what they were doing, and improved. How did he improve upon it? He made it small and possible for you to carry everything right in your hand, a computer. Because of what y'all don't remember, when after a while, you couldn't, this was not considered a telephone. It's considered a computer. When you bought it, you had to insure it as a computer, not a telephone. A lot of people don't remember that. It was a computer. They considered it a computer, not a phone. Although it was a phone on it. But you couldn't insure it as a phone. It was a computer. He borrowed it, duplicated everything I'm teaching you. It's not mine. I borrowed it. I'm duplicating it. And I'm improving upon it to teach it to you my way. See, I take their expertise and make it my brilliance. And give it to you. And get paid for it. What are you beating at? Stop wasting and giving your money away to somebody. Save your money. So if you decide that I don't want to work no more. I've saved all these $100,000 and I can sit back. I ain't got to do what I have to do no more. I can now do what I want to do. You got to learn about money. About your life, how to live easy. Because if you're spending every penny right now that you make, you will be spending and struggling your whole life. People say, oh, look at these, Mr. Murray, you got it made, you got money, you got a Cadillac, you live in a nice house, you got money, you travel. But you didn't look up, see what you seeing right up here now? Is my 40-year overnight success. It took me 40 years to get here. Although I'm just 39. But you got to learn and understand money. Now, the alchemist gave you 8 things we're going to discuss. And this was not to be my class today. I was going to do something else, but y'all will do this. Because I think this is important. We doing okay?
Yes.
A part of all I earn is mine to keep. I don't care if you go out there, you find $1, you put 10 cents away. You find it, put 10 cents away. Because if you do that 10 times, how much you got? $1. Do it 100 times what you got. $100. Now I'm gonna tell you how money grows. Show you how money grows. Y'all to apply for a job. I'm hired. I only hire you for 1 month. I said, okay, pick which salary you want. I'm going to give you either $100,000 at the end of the month. But I'm going to work you now. You're going to earn it. Trust me. You're going to earn it. Because that's a whole lot of money. You might want to quit before the month's over. I'm gonna work you like a mule. Or I'm saying, you know what I'll do? I want to be cheap. I'm gonna pay you a penny today, 2 cents tomorrow, 4 cents the next day, 8 cents the next day, 16 cents the next day, 32 cents the next day. What salary do you want? A penny or 100,000 in a month?
Waiting to connect to Bluetooth device.
Okay. What salary do you want?
It grows exponentially.
The 100,000 a penny.
I don't see the penny.
Why? You're talking about 100,000 compared to a penny?
Yeah.
Think about it. Why would you pick the penny?
Because it grows exponentially. It starts off small in the beginning, but over time it starts to grow and grow and grow.
At the end of the month, I'll give you a check for $100,000. Or I'll give you a check for all because you took the penny. You either get $100,000 at the end of the month or a check for $3,867,000 from a penny. Little money makes what? Big difference, ain't it? But you're looking at what at first? That's called, that's what I'm talking about. Little money makes big money. You've got to start putting that 10% aside. It means a lot. It means a lot. You're never going to hit that lottery. When you say, oh, well, I'm going to pay, I'm waiting to hit the lottery. Well, you got your luck. You got a better chance of getting hit by lightning twice than you hit the lottery. And getting hit by lightning once is astronomical. Well, and if you survive it, that's what's great. And know if you get hit by lightning, you end up being one of the superheroes. It don't work that way. You ain't going to have x-ray vision, fly. It don't work like that. But you know, you keep 10%, and you got to remember that. Now, here's what the richest, here's what I got for number one. Who else wrote something down, the rules down for number one? Anybody? What'd you write down?
I could seek professional advice from competent people.
Did you write them down? Either one of y'all write them down?
I put, what is your financial plan as it succeeds?
Well, I put for number one, learn the laws of building wealth. And you have to learn the laws of building wealth. It's easy. See, staying poor is a frame of mind. Building wealth is the goal. Number two. What did y'all write down for that?
I could claim the good things of life, study, and the question he had was how determined are you to succeed?
That's right, determination. How determined are you? Are you let me say, come on, baby, why don't you take me out to dinner tonight? You know, it's my birthday. What you get me for my birthday? Well, if your birthday don't count, say, hey, baby, I'll cook you a meal. Your birthday present, I'll be waiting on you afterwards. I wrote down, study and learn to build wealth. Be determined. Use time task. Use time task. Set a time for your task and put a limit on it. You gotta be exact to life. Now here's the thing that I always tell, and Arlene, she comes to my show, so she hears me all the time. She also listens to my Tuesday evening calls, which are free, where I teach and I bring in all these experts to teach you business and life and how to succeed. And I always tell you, you know, about time. Use time wisely and set your goals and be exact. Be exact. Because here's the thing about, see, everything that you want in life, everything you're seeking is out there looking harder for you than you're looking for it. And life will gladly give you everything you want. It's working hard to give them to you, but it'll give you everything you want, but all you got to do is put in the work, put in the task. Set that plan and work it. Number three.
for some reason I put 10% for yourself, but then I put the question, do you seek advice from others?
Very good. Did you put anything down, Karen?
I put the same. I put aside 1/10. All I earn, seek advice from people with experience.
Mhm.
Would you put? Did you take it?
Yeah, I put, do you seek advice from people with experience?
Okay, I put ask those that are wealth how it was done.
Mm.
Seek advice. Same thing. We see, you're just hearing what I'm saying. We're all saying the same thing, just differently,
Mhm.
but it all means the same thing. We can see the same thing and tell the same story differently. Do the same way to success in life, but do it differently. Because what? Nobody's life is the same. See, I don't know what got you where you are. I don't know what got you where you are. You know what got me where I am. We don't know what got each other where we are. But where are we right now? In the same place.
Yes.
So I can't say you're wrong the way you did what you did because I don't know what got you there. Now, something that I always tell people. When people tell you, oh, you can't do that, or you ain't gonna do that, or I don't think you should do it that way, or you're crazy for doing it like that, don't say, oh, no, you're wrong. I think I can, don't tell me. Never, ever argue nobody right. Never argue them right. All you do is sit back, smile at them, and then success them wrong. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because an argument is me and you going back and forth trying to figure out who is right. Who's right? That's an argument. But if you have a discussion, you're talking about what is right. And if I say, I'm not going to argue with you, sit back and watch it work. Or just wait. Just sit back and one day you say, how did you get there? And you say, hey, buddy, good friend of mine, I need. Hey, well, you didn't support me when I was climbing. Don't ask me, you know. I'll reach back and I'll tell you how I did it. You can do what I did, but you get no part of this. All I can give you is the information, the knowledge, and the know-how. I'm not, because if I give it to you, you're not going to put the value on it that you would put on if you did it yourself. That's why somebody gives you something, you're not going to care for it as much as if you had to pay your money for it. Number 4.
The principle of all I earn is mine. Do you learn from your mistakes?
Very good. Spell out your name, darling.
Keon.
Keon. Okay, Keon. What did you put for number 4?
I put, do you learn from mistakes by seeking advice from professionals?
Great. Karen?
I put seek professional, not just anybody who learn from mistakes.
I put the same thing y'all put. I put carry out principles wisely. That's called your PDI. Now here's the thing about it. Those who ask questions will get an answer. If you don't ask, you'll never know. So don't be afraid to ask, because you ask me a question, you say, well, how do you get to so-and-so street and the restaurant there? And I tell you, I don't know. What did you lose? Nothing. But if you ask me, and I say, well, you go down the street to the corner, down by the bank, make a right, it's right on your left, what'd you gain?
What you needed.
Either way it goes, right? What'd you get? If I don't know, you didn't lose anything. And if I told you, then you gained the information you needed. That's why you always ask. And I tell them, I'll be having a room full of people. And when I'm on my call, so I'll be having 40, 50, 60 people. Nobody wants to say anything. I say, lines are open. Any question, anything? Nobody says anything. Then you're never going to know. Here's the thing about it. When you're in a room full of people and you have a question, trust me, there are 6 or 7 more people like the same question. But don't have the nerve to ask. So they can walk around all day long and say, Dad, I wonder how. What was I just wish I should have asked him that question. Or I wish I knew the answer to that. But all you have to do is open your mouth to find out. A closed mouth and a closed mind will never get fed. So don't never be afraid to ask. See, success is so easy. Here's what you got to do. Get that thing called ego, E-G-O, out of the way. Well, if I ask that question, they're going to laugh at me. Duh! If you don't ask it, like they say, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. It's more expensive. It's going to cost you more money not knowing than the knowing. Just you turn on slow. Just a little bit. All right, y'all, let's do, what was number 5?
Yes.
Oh, this is a great one. Number 5.
After do you review the success and failures of your business so that you can profit later?
Great. Karen?
I could consider where you invest your money.
You put savings, I mean, like, when you come, make it a habit, and then the same question, do you know carefully where you can invest your funds?
Okay. I put always said the same thing, I put make them a habit. Make them a habit. Everything that you do, you got to make it a habit. Now, you want to make something a habit? Anything you do consistently becomes a habit. Anything you do daily becomes a habit. Anything you do for a number of 21 consecutive times becomes a habit. You get it? So you got to, you say, well, I can't afford to save 10. Yes, you can. Because if you're living at your means, no matter how much money you make, you will always live at your means. If you're making $20,000 a year, $50,000 a year, or $100,000 a year, you start at $20,000. You have to get your salary up to $50,000 to $100,000 in a matter of years, you will still live at your means, above your means. Why? Because that's all you're used to. Once you start saving, it becomes a habit. You buy a car. You pay that car note for what? 5 years. After 5 years and 1 month, you no longer have a car note. What do you do with that money?
People go get another car.
Why?
That's what they learn, and that's what they had.
That's called what? Insanity.
Yeah.
You keep paying that car note. Who you pay it to? Yourself. You've been paying all them years. Now instead of you saving 10%, you're saving 10% plus that $300, $400 car note. Multiply that times 12. You didn't have it anyway. So I said, oh, now I got this. I can go on vacation. I can go buy these $300 shoes I wanted. I can go buy this big screen TV. What's wrong with the one you got? If you had that car note next month, would you buy that big TV or that new phone? Why would you do that? You've got to learn to save, because trust me, if you're planning on seeing tomorrow, you're going to get older. You want to be comfortable when you get into the age of longevity. When you get into the age of privilege, and I consider privilege when you turn 60, 62, that's the age of privilege. Because now you're going to tell them senior citizens discount. Oh, I don't go nowhere. Everywhere I go, senior citizens discount. Do you have one? I earned it. That is not a gift given to me. I earned it. I lived 62 years to earn that. Now let's talk about something else. I'm going another direction real quick, y'all. I'm going to link this into your diet. Because it centers on your diet. Your diet is your health. Because your wealth is your health. If you're unhealthy, how can you go to work? How can you accumulate what you want if you're unhealthy? So you got to watch your diet. What you eat, what you put in your system. I told you I was talking to a young lady and a married couple 3 days ago. And they said, well, we just eat pork every now and then. I said, are you serious? Well, it's just every now and then. So what you tell me, every now and then you're poisoning yourself. Where's that penny? A little bit equals what? A lot. And when you get older, it's going to catch up with you. Because you poison yourself a little here, a little there. Now you're wondering how come you're aching. Or your knees hurt, or your hip hurt. All of a sudden you can't raise your arm. It's because of what you've done to your body when you were younger. It's going to catch up with you. Oh, it's not going to hurt me now. I'm 20-something, I'm 30-something. Yeah, okay. One day you can be 40-something or 50-something. I was over a friend's house, and her brother, it was a brother. His girlfriend and him came in, and she had a bag. And so she stood at the counter because she couldn't sit down. She was in so much pain that she couldn't sit down. And guess what? She pulled out that bag. A big slab of ribs, some potatoes, and a Diet Pepsi. But she couldn't sit down. So I asked her, I said, darling, why didn't you get water instead of the soda? Or why didn't you get a salad? You're already in pain. Says, well, I don't like water. I asked her, how do you like the pain? Think about it. People don't think. You'd rather be in pain than drink water. And then I asked her the big question. I said, how old are you? She said 50 something, like 56, something like that. I said, are you planning on living for 30 more years? She says, well, I would like to. I said, so what you're just telling me is that you want to live 30 more years, but you want to live 30 more years in pain.
Wow.
It's not going to go away as long as you keep eating that diet you're eating. See, everything you put in your body, has a future. And that's how you look at it. If I'm putting something in my body's not good for me now, oh, in the future, what's it going to do to me? What's going to happen to your car if you don't put oil in it in the future?
Maybe on the side of the road.
Hello? Well, your body is a vehicle. It's oil and it's gasoline and water. And its fuel is the diet you eat. If you don't know what to do, if you can read, use it. Use your education. Because a person that doesn't read is in worse shape than a person that can't read. It's out there. You know one of the greatest inventions in the history of man? One of the greatest inventions in the history of man was the internet. It connected the world. You can go online and pull up anything, any information concerning anything, anywhere in the world. Because all education is not centered on America. You got third world countries out there who will not eat American meat. They will starve before they put American meat in their system. Japan. Things Japan. Once they open their borders up and start getting American fast foods, their hypertension went up 600%.
Wow.
600%. What's that telling you? If a country that was healthy didn't have high blood pressure, didn't have hypertension, they did it at a low rate, all of a sudden it goes up 600% because they started eating McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken. What's that telling you? But you eat it on a daily basis, all your life. And a kid out there